Last month, 5,000 players gathered to compete in the Fukuoka Champions League. And what's significant about this event is that it was the first major tournament to feature new cards from Journey Together in our post-rotation Scarlet and Violet On format. And the results from this event show that in the future, there will be walls. 5 out of the top 8 finishers from this 5,000 player tournament were playing decks that aim to deny prize cards with Pokemon that are not easily damaged by the most popular attackers in the Pokémon TCG. The most popular wall Pokemon that you can expect to encounter are Melodic EX, Farigiraf EX, and Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX. Melodic EX has the Sparkling Scales ability, which prevents all damage and effects of attacks from your opponent's Terra Pokemon. And then Farigiraf EX has the Armor Tail ability, which prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon EX. And then, of course, Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX has the Cornerstone Stance ability, which prevents all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon that have an ability. So, when you put all of these Pokemon together, you're walling off Terra Pokemon, basic Pokemon EX, and also any Pokemon with an ability, which covers an awful lot of ground. And these Pokemon all attack too, so it's not like you're just sitting there doing nothing. You will eventually take 6 prizes, while your opponent has a difficult time even damaging your attackers. In today's tabletop gameplay, I've conned Jesse into playing against the 3rd place Blissey Walls deck from the Fukuoka Champions League, while he tries to keep up with a teched Ogerpon Toolbox deck. I'm stoked to get to the action, but before we do, let's hear a word from my sponsor, Dragon Shield. Dragon Shield makes the highest quality sleeves and accessories for your favorite tabletop games, like the Pokémon TCG. They already boast a huge selection of sleeve colors to protect your favorite decks and style, but this month they're releasing 2 additional colorways for their classic matte sleeves, Amber and Amethyst. These orange and purple sleeves feature a light sparkle to them, like the Dragon Shield Pink Diamond, Emerald, or Ruby sleeves do. I absolutely love these new colorways, and they look exceptional paired with the new playmat just released by Dragon Shield with artwork by Ryo Kame. Head over to dragonshield.com today and pick up a few boxes of the new Amber and Amethyst matte sleeves. And don't forget to use code TRICKYGEM at checkout for 5% off your order. Huge thank you to Dragon Shield for being a continued sponsor of the channel. Now, let's get to the gameplay. The walls are like serious.
They are very good, yeah.
Because people are not just going to show up prepared for walls.
They did really good at the Champions League, so I think that'll be on people's radar. But I think it'll be a thing where, like, you really have to put a lot in your deck to be able to beat them.
You can't put like 1 or 2 cards.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. Is like 1 or 2 cards I don't think is going to fix it. You could try. I mean, that's why we're going to show this off.
Yeah,
like,
that's more of like a more aggressive walls deck, but there are just walls decks that just play 3/3 Milotic, 3/2 Farigiraf, and then 2 Ogerpons, or 2 of the cornerstones, and that's it. Like, that's the deck.
The whole deck is
so if Cornerstone and Farigiraf doesn't work, then Milotic works. One of those 3 is probably walling your opponent. Playing Cornerstone yourself makes it so if your opponent tries to play Cornerstone, you have a way, because Cornerstone completely walls Milotic and Farigiraf, because you can't be damaged by Pokemon's abilities. So that's your only way to hit through my...
So in the wall mirror, you have to play Cornerstone.
But then the wall deck plays freaking Pokevital A, the healing potion attack. It's like gold potion.
Yeah, dude, it's like...
It heals 120, or 150, yeah. 120, 150, something like that. So you're not going to win the healing war against that deck. I'm in for a bad time, I feel like, but we'll see.
I don't know, you got at least one person in the chat who says it's going to be free. So.
Okay, all right. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought.
Good luck.
You too, Dro. I'll use Nest Ball. I'm going to get me a Fan Rotom. And I'll use Fan Call. Search my deck for a Hoot Hoot, a Noctowl, and another Hoot Hoot. Bench them 2 Hooters, and I do not have an energy, so I will pass.
Nice. I'll draw. I've got a nice looking opening with Tatsugiri here, Chansey, and a Nest Ball. So I'll bench Chansey and play Nest Ball. Thin my deck first, give me a higher chance of being able to find a supporter off of the Tatsugiri. And I want a Nest Ball for, I think Farigiraf is kind of like the best Pokemon I can get into play for this matchup, as it can't be damaged by basic Pokemon EX, which is pretty much your deck's mission statement there, is to attack with basic Pokemon EX. I'll Nest Ball for Girafarig And then I'll attract customers. Let's go. Look at the top 6 cards of my deck, and I can choose a supporter there and put it into my hands. Take Iono and hit that Iono.
Oh, I thought you were about to say pass. I was about to take out your freaking giraffe.
I thought I was going to pass. You just watched me use attract customers for Iono.
You were, oh yeah.
Bro.
I was talking to chat when you did that.
Yeah, I know. All right, it's off Iono. We both get 6. Money. TM Evolution. Evolution. Boom. Your go, bud.
Draw. All right, this hand there's nothing in it. All right, I'll bench Ogerpon and use Teal Dance. Oh, thank goodness. I'll evolve to Noctowl and use Jewel Seeker. I think I probably should just get this fighting Ogerpon going as soon as possible.
I can't wait to hit you with the Dirty Beam, bro.
Dude, the Dirty Beam.
The Dirty Beam.
I was going to get dirty. Sparkling Crystal and Ultra Ball. And then I'll Ultra Ball away Ditto Crispin. And then I'll get a Noctowl and use another Jewel Seeker to get Nest Ball in Area 0. And then I'll play Area 0 to increase my bench to 8 since I have a Terra Pokemon in play. And I'll use Nest Ball to get Ogerpon of the Cornerstone variety. And then I'll play Crispin. I think I should save the Fighting Energy for if I have to use Cornerstone again. So I'm going to save the Fighting in the deck. I'm going to get Metal and Lightning. Attach with the effect of Crispin and then attach for turn. And then bench Latias, which gives my basic Pokemon free retreat. And I'll attach Sparkling Crystal. I'll use Demolish for 140 and it ignores all effects of attacks. So, KO.
Cool. Sounds good. That's fine. Demolish does not one-hit KO Blissey, so...
Sure, it doesn't hit for weakness, actually.
Oh, and it doesn't hit for weakness.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so it doesn't even 2-hit KO Blissey.
No.
I'll promote Blissey. Draw. Play Arven as my supportive return, and with Arven, I'll get Hero's Cape and Pokegear 3.0. TM Turbo Energize to Blissey, bench Monkey Dory, attach Hero's Cape to Farigiraf EX, attach Darkness Energy to Blissey, and I'll use Turbo Energize. Search my deck for 2 energy and attach them to my bench Pokemon. So I'll get Water and a Psychic and put them on Farigiraf EX.
Drop. I'll play Nest Ball. Get Mew EX. Restart for 1. Boss's orders for Farigiraf. Give me that giraffe. I'm going to start hitting it.
I figured as much.
And I'll Demolish for 140.
140 damage on my Farigiraf, and I'll draw. So I've got some things that I can do. First of all, I'll attach a Darkness Energy to Monkey Dory. I'll use Adrenabrain to move 3 damage counters off of my Farigiraf. Well, let's move them onto the Teal Mask Ogerpon. Sure. And then I'll use Pokegear. How many cards in hand?
Dose.
2, huh? That's fine. I'll take Iono. I'll play Iono. Okay, and I get 6, you get 5. Wonderful. Let's go Happy Switch to move a Darkness Energy up to the Farigiraf EX. And I'll use Dirty Beam to do 160 damage to your active.
I will block that with my ability.
Huh. What the heck, dude?
You need to get your own Cornerstone out to hit through it. That's what you have to do.
Man, bro. It's in Japanese, man. All right.
In Japanese. I talked about it before the game.
And then I also do 30 damage to your Fan Rotom. Okay,
Yeah,
30 damage to Fan Rotom. Yep, go ahead. Yep.
All right, great turn, Andrew.
Thanks.
Draw. I'll play Nest Ball to get Hoot Hoot, Teal Dance, and Demolish for 140.
Okay, so I'm up to 250? Yes. We'll draw. Okay, we can do this. For sure we can do this. I've got him right where I want him. I'll bench my own Cornerstone Mask, Ogerpon. I'll bench Monkey Dory with a Darkness Energy. And I'll use Adrenabrain to move 30 damage off of my Farigiraf EX and put it onto your bench Teal Mask Ogerpon. And then I'll do that again. So I'm at 180, 190. Okay. And then I'll Nest Ball. Nest Ball for a Monkey Dory. And then I'll use Happy Switch. And then I'll take 30 damage off. And I'll put it on your Cornerstone Mask on the bench again.
Bro, chill. This is giving me flashbacks to when we played that deck versus Dragapult, and it was just like miserable. Like Blissey was just like healing 90 and KOing a Dracloak.
Right.
Dragapult stood no chance.
I'll play Arven as my supporter for turn. And with the Arven, I'll get Super Rod and TM Turbo Energize. Retreat into Monkey Dory. Play Super Rod. I'll shuffle in these. Attach TM Turbo Energize. And then I'll use Turbo Energize.
I thought you were going to confuse me, which would have been actually really annoying. This is also annoying.
And I'll go accelerate.
Energize that deck play. What in the world?
I'll accelerate a Fighting and a Water onto my Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX.
Uh-huh.
And then it's your go, bud.
I'll play Crispin. Crispin attach, and then I'll attach return, and I'll use Demolish.
All right, monkey down, monkey down. I'll promote Cornerstone Mask, Ogerpon, and draw. I'll Adrenabrain to move 30 damage off of my Fargraph onto your Mew, and then Happy Switch and Demolish for 140.
Cornerstone on Cornerstone of Violence. We both go through each other's abilities. Draw for turn. I'll just Demolish. We need a lot of dice.
Draw. Nice. This tech plays that card? Crazy.
Oh no. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound good.
It's a research. Research.
Great.
God, you know how nice it is to see a research in this day and age. I'll Ultra Ball, discard TM Evolution and Boss's Orders. Get a Chansey. And then I'll play Professor's Research, discard my hand, and draw 7.
Like, imagine if you had, like, the Poke Vital. Like, just heal 150. Like, I mean,
Nuts,
this is kind of similar, but,
yeah, it'd be crazy. All right, I'll use Earthen Vessel and discard Phoebus.
It's just a Feeble Bass.
And go get these two. Attach Darkness to Monkey Dory. I'll Adrenabrain 3 damage counters onto Teal Mask Ogerpon. And then I'll Adrenabrain 3 more damage counters onto Teal Mask Ogerpon. And then I'll Happy Switch an energy over to Fargraph.
For safekeeping.
Seems better there, yeah. And then Demolish for the knockouts. I'll take my 2 prizes.
Well, you did everything you could do there. Cornerstone. I'll promote Mew and draw. We're going to go and use this Knocked Owl. I'll use Jewel Seeker. And I think I'm just going to get 2 E-Switch. And E-Switch onto, like, a different Pokemon. I'll get 2 E-Switch. Bench Pikachu, Energy Switch 1, Energy Switch 2, and Iono.
Cool. Well, let's see what we can do.
And I'll Genome Hacking Demolish, so it hits through your ability, so 140 for the knockouts.
Cool. Cornerstone Mask goes down, and I'll promote Fargraph EX.
Oh, yeah, I just freaking lose.
I'll draw.
I had it out to win, though, next turn, possibly.
I'll use Adrenabrain to knock out your Teal Mask Ogerpon and take 2 prizes. And then I'll use Happy Switch, and I'll use Night Stretcher to get Psychic out of my discard pile and attach it. And then Dirty Beam for 320 damage on the knockouts.
No.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
My out to win was I had 2 more Night Stretcher to get my Metal and my Lightning, so I could 300 on your Blissey.
Blissey Walls. This is what your post-rotation format is looking like right here, folks. Walls are real. You've got Fargraph EX, can't be damaged by any basic Pokemon EX. You've got Melodic EX, can't be damaged by Terras. You've got the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, can't be damaged by Pokemon with abilities, as we saw there. Except it does counter itself. And I think that this wall deck is kind of in the perfect place right now because the format after rotation narrows down and all of the best cards kind of rise to the top, and it just so happens that all of the best cards, all of the best archetypes all get walled off by something.
Are we playing another one with this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the best of 3, dude.
All right, I'll do my best.
Put your thinking cap on.
Bro, I'm trying, okay?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, when I tried to attack into your Cornerstone Mask, I was feeling pretty bad there. But but the monkeys, they bailed me out, so That's fine.
Monkeys are broken.
Yes, I had a brain fart. All right.
Mulligan.
Good luck.
You too. Drop. Ultra Ball. Area 0. Boss's orders. You just pray every game that your crystal's not prized, because prizing that thing sucks. I'll get Fan Rotom and use Fan Call. I'll get 2 Noctowls and 1 Hoot Hoot, because I just so happen to have 2 Hoot Hoots in my hand. I'll attach and pass to you.
Cool. Draw. Oh yeah. Found the draft off the top, which is great. I really just need to find an Arven. So I'm going to thin the deck first, use Earthen Vessel, discard Professor's Research, search my deck for a couple of basic energy, and then I can attract some customers and see if Arven wants to do some shopping at my shop.
Please no.
I'll get a Water and a Dark. Let's attract some customers. Look at the top 6 cards of the deck, and I can put a supporter I find there into my hand. Boo.
Yes.
I'll bench Girafarig, Monkey Dory, attach Water Energy to Tatsugiri. Got to look out for my Surf, dude.
Dude.
And Iono.
There's no way you play a Fire Energy.
No, I don't.
Actually, I don't have to look out for it because it has an ability.
That's right. We both get 6 cards off the top.
Give me 1 Noctowl.
Money. Nest Ball. Oh, Nest Ball for Chansey to put onto the bench. And then attach Technical Machine Evolution to Tatsugiri. And I'll use Evolution, targeting Chansey and Girafarig. Go search my deck for Pokemon that evolve from them. So here comes Girafarig EX, and here comes Blissey.
Drop. Well, we did find a Noctowl, so that's cool. Jewel Seeker, since he's a Terra. Okay, Sparkling Crystal and Ultra Ball off the Jewel Seeker. We'll play Nest Ball. And get Wellspring. And then I'll play Crispin for a Water and a Grass. Attach with Crispin. Attach for turn. Attach Crystal.
Dang, bruh.
Ultra Ball.
Chill.
For Noctowl. Jewel Seeker for Area 0 and Nest Ball. Area 0, Nest Ball for... Try to conserve my energy a little bit. For Latias. And then I'll retreat. And I'll use Torrential Pump. So it's 100 to the Tatsugiri and 120 to the Monkey Dory.
Yeah, that's tough. Not great for us. I'll promote Fergraph EX and draw. Nice top deck there. Love to see it. I'll attach Fighting Energy to Fergraph, Ultra Ball discard, Blissey and Rescue Board. And I'll go get a Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX. Play Iono. I'll get 6. Jesse gets 4.
Give me a Noctowl. I gotta say it before I draw.
Ah, okay.
Okay, it didn't work.
All right, all right.
This Wellspring is now dead to me. He can go to heck.
That's fine. Gonna be a slow and steady turn for me.
Good. No TM Turbo Energize.
Pass.
Yep. TM Turbo Energize is actually so good in that deck that you can like happy switch the energies off. It's even better in that deck than it was in Iron Thorns.
For sure.
Bench. Teal Dance. Turo. Up the Noctowl.
Dude, that's fine. I'm happy it got played on that. And not a Pokemon with 100 damage on it or whatever.
That's you know, Turo's the go. I love Turo. Alright, evolve and use Jewel Seeker. Energy switch and Earthen Vessel. And then I'll Earthen Vessel away Counter Catcher for Fighting in Grass. Okay, if I don't win this game, there's no chance. This is going perfect for me right now. Bench Hoot Hoot, attach Dark, Energy Switch onto Cornerstone. Free Retreat. Demolish for 140.
Okay, I see. 140 damage. The Ogerpon is here. How many cards are in your hand?
3.
Okay. Draw. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Nest Ball for Monkey Dory. Nest Ball for another Monkey Dory. Play Arven. For TM, Turbo Energize, and Exchange Tickets. I'll attach an energy to Monkey Dory and use Adrenabrain to move 3 damage counters to your active. And then I'll Happy Switch and Adrenabrain again to move it onto your active. Alright, attach TM Turbo Energize to my Farigiraf, and I'll use Turbo Energize.
Not gonna use your exchange ticket, bro?
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, what if I just tossed, like, I have 4 energy in my deck. What if I just threw a bunch of them
I don't see a problem with that.
into my prizes? That'd be horrible. I want to accelerate those energy first.
It's all good. But now you can't top deck the Hero's Cape. Yeah, that's true. You can literally next turn, if you want, just go exchange ticket, then play Arvin.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yes. I'm not going to lie. This format is so much cooler without canceling Cologne in it. Like, this matchup just becomes so cringe if there's a canceling
I don't think
Cologne.
one canceling Cologne necessarily, like, saves me. I don't. I thought that card was I thought that card was cool. I don't know.
No, it's not cool.
It was balanced, bro.
It's not cool. It's
bro,
not.
people... It was in format, and people still, like, barely played it. They only played it, like, in Reggie Drago, because you could do that combo with
It's
Jiren.
not cool, though, because it's like, okay, well, then this matchup just comes down to how many Cologne do you play. Like, if you just want to win, then just play 2 or 3 Cologne, right? But instead, you actually have to think about how to win.
I don't like that part.
And the matchup is actually interesting. It becomes way less interesting if you just go Noctowl Cologne, the knockout.
Yeah, that's fair. You make a point. All right, I'll use Teal Dance, Nestball. I'm going to get Mew because I want to be able to draw some cards. Yeah, let's get Mew just because I want to be able to draw some cards. Let's go attach for turn on Mew and restart for 1. All right. I'll use Demolish.
140 more damage onto my Farigiraf. Farigiraf now has 220 damage on it, so 40 hit points remaining. And I'll draw. First, I'll use Pokegear, look at the top 7 cards of my deck, and take a supporter I find there and put it into my hand. Ah! We whiffed. Didn't want to do that. That is most unfortunate.
Yay.
Ooh.
Game 3. Game 3. I won't even be mad if I lose this because then I don't have to play another game against the wall deck. No, it's fine. It's this is like actually very valuable because I really wanted to try this with the Cornerstone and to see if I could actually win.
Exactly. It's interesting.
This is good practice.
It's good practice, good testing, because this is relevant. You're going to be seeing this stuff.
Relevant.
For sure. Okay.
My initial reaction is like, oh yeah, this will just wall off your whole deck, but then I didn't think about that those decks also play Cornerstone.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, if you have a resource war, you're probably gonna win.
That was a tough whiff. I'll use Adrenabrain to move 30 damage off my active to your active. Cool. Then I'll use Happy Switch to move this Darkness Energy to Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, attach Psychic to my active, and retreats. And then I'll Demolish for the knockout because 90 plus 140 is enough to knock that thing out. And I'll take my 2 prizes.
That checks out. All right. Cornerstone going down. So I'm going to promote Mew and draw. So I can either bench Fezandipity to draw 3, or I can use my Night Stretcher to get Cornerstone back. But considering Mew can also hit through this, I think I'd rather just draw 3 with Fez. So I'll bench Fezandipity and use Flip the Script, which I can only use if you took a knockout last turn, and I get to draw 3. I was really hoping for a Crispin or a Noctowl or something that could let me attack. Because as it stands right now, I am not going to be able to announce a meaningful attack. Attach, and then retreat to Wellspring, and I'll just use Sob for 20.
Dang, what the heck?
Yeah.
We'll draw. All right. Let's use Happy Switch to move a Darkness Energy to Monkey Dory, Adrenabrain, and I'll move 30 damage off of my Farigiraf to your active. Attach for turn. I'll use Exchange Ticket.
The rare exchange ticket.
Take these 4 cards, shuffle them, put them to the bottom, and set out 4 new prize cards. Cool little effect.
Nifty.
Let's Demolish for 140.
You got it. Draw. I'll use Night Stretcher to get Grass Energy and attach it to Mew. Then I'll retreat. And I'll Genome Hacking and use Demolish for 140.
Cool. So I'm up to 160 damage total. I'll draw a Yo. It's a nice little top deck.
I'm so screwed. You could just guarantee win the next 2 turns. Well,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you can.
I'll play Crispin. There has to be 2 in here. And there is. Crispin. I'll search Dark and Psychic. I'll attach the Psychic to Farigiraf for turn. The Dark will go to my hand. Yeah, that's hype. Attach the Psychic to Farigiraf. I'll attach for turn to Monkey Dory. Use Adrenabrain once to move 3 damage counters to your Wellspring Mask Ogerpon.
Maybe if I can find Turo.
You just Turo'd the Noctowl.
Oh yeah, I used it already.
Yeah, you're bodied.
Oh, I'm so bodied.
And then I'll Adrenabrain again to knock him out.
Yeah.
And I will take my 2 prize cards.
Yeah, you just knock him out anyways. Doesn't even matter, man.
Play Super Rod.
So doomed.
I'll shuffle Fighting, Psychic, and Water Energy back into the deck. Attach Technical Machine Evolution to my Cornerstone Mask, and I'll play Nest Ball. With the Nest Ball, I'll go get a Chansey. What was that? You said if you don't win this game, then it's hopeless?
I think I found out that Cornerstone does not solve the matchup.
No, yeah, I don't think so.
I guess it gives you like a fighting shot, I guess, but like
if your opponent's like really bad, it might do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I was ever in this war and you just dropped like Pokevital at any point, I'd be so boned.
I'd have to be so bad to lose this though, because like
the monkeys are too
because I objectively played terrible round 1 and I still won. And now that I know how to play the matchup, it's even easier.
It's possible. I might not be I might be making questionable plays, but I don't know, man. I just like you Iono'd me, and like I just don't have any way to get a Noctowl, and like I don't even know what I would get with Noctowl. Like this deck only has so much energy, so much recovery. Like 3 energies are down here, 3 energies down here. I have like 3 energies left in one night stretch.
Yeah, I'm pressuring your resources.
There's like no, and Blood Moon's useless, so
feels good, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, Demolish for 140, goes through resistance. It's your go.
I'll use Flip the Scripts. Okay. Jewel Seeker. Yeah, I mean, you just monkey killed that thing, so it literally doesn't matter. I'll just get Energy Switch and Ultra Ball. And yeah, not great. It's just not great. I can go bench Pika, play Crispin to attach with Crispin, and then take the metal and attach for my turn. And then KO this, and then next turn, if I had one, I could go Lightning, Boss, and win the game. So it's like, there's a route. It's just very hard. I'll just use Genome Hacking to copy Demolish for the knockout.
Cool. Ogerpon goes down, 2/2 prizes, but with 2 Darkness Energy on my Monkey Dory, all I have to do is move 6 damage counters to the active, double Adrenabrain, and that is game, folks. Let's go. I'm feeling powerful. The wall deck is real. Yes.
It is very good.
It works exactly as it's intended. It even powers through a Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon and a Fighting. That's not going to be enough. If you've got an entirely EX-based, Terra-based, or basic-based deck, that's not really going to be enough to do it,
You're
right?
going to have a hard time, for sure.
Yeah.
You can try to tech, the Cornerstone, so it's really great. It can't be damaged by Farigiraf. It can't be damaged by Melodic. You can hit through all their Pokemon with your Demolish Shred attack, but the Monkey Dory, in that list, the Monkey Dory healing is just too much. In the other walls list, the Pokevital Ace spec is too much healing. I don't think it's enough. I mean, you can bring it close, like that game. My Lightning was prize, but assuming I live another turn, I could potentially go like Lightning 300 on your Blissey and win that way. But yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
So what do you think the answer to a wall deck is in our post-rotation format, Jesse? I know a lot of people are going to see this. They're going to see the walls doing well. I know some players are excited about like the Feraligatr deck, but when you really boil it down, that is also a wall deck.
It's an attacking walls deck.
Yes,
yeah.
And so is this. So
it's very similar.
The wall decks are going to be very popular. They're going to be very good in our post-rotation format. How do you combat that as a player who maybe doesn't want to be playing a wall deck?
So you can try to attack the Cornerstone like I did there, which could give you a fighting shot. I think there are decks that just do well against it. Like I think Goldengo would probably do fine against it. Archaladon would probably do okay because it has an ability, but it's not a basic EX, so it hits through everything. And if they do a Cornerstone, you can always attack with the basic Duraludon. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think it's gonna be tough. Like I know the Feraligatr deck beats it because it beat it in the top 4 of the Fukuoka Champions League. It's like the wall deck, that kind of wall deck didn't end up winning, but a type of wall deck did win. So like, I don't know if there's a lot of easy answers to it. I think that's what the Champions League showed us is that, the wall decks are very strong and there isn't just like a catch-all answer like play 2 Cologne, play a canceling Cologne, which is rotated. So I need to figure that out myself. I don't know if I really have the answer, to be honest. Maybe just play a wall deck yourself and then
True.
just be the better wall deck player.
So true. So true.